George Santos has become arguably one of the most interesting members of the 118th Congress, but for less than desirable reasons.
So a few weeks ago, it came to light that this Republican candidate who ran in the 3rd District of New York, George Santos, that he told voters for several months that he went to a certain college that he used to work at, Citigroup and Goldman Sachs. These institutions had no record of him even attending, even the college that he went to or the charity he founded.
Santos' claims are numerous and wide-ranging. His accounts of being wealthy, biracial, and a Ukrainian descendant of Holocaust survivors have all been debunked. He's admitted to giving false information on his education and career background, and he's gone as far as giving conflicting accounts of his mother's death.
When you are on the campaign trail, you are saying things about yourself or your work history that will make voters think that you're a really great candidate. And so he has really heavily pushed the fact that he was really big into finance, that he came from nothing, that he just created this whole life for himself. Since the story came to light, and even Washington Post also started digging into his past and also started finding that he started calling himself by different names and a lot of other things about his past that people just didn't know, and more things to come to light. He has since come out and just addressed one of the first initial reports about him.
I'm not going to make excuses for this, but a lot of people overstate in their resumes or twist a little bit or ingratiate themselves. I'm not saying I'm not guilty of that.
Among the revelations about Santos, a $700,000 loan he made to his campaign is raising more questions and may lead to more trouble for the incoming congressman.
There's still questions that remain about where exactly that money came from if he didn't work at the places he said he worked. When you are running for Congress, you have to fill out these financial disclosure forms, and you have to answer as accurately and honestly as possible. But if he knowingly fabricated and lied on these financial disclosure forms that you submit to Congress, then he could have possibly broken a number of laws.
While there are no roadblocks in the way of Santos being sworn in, he is already facing challenges upon entering Congress. Representative Richie Torres of New York has introduced legislation requiring candidates who seek federal office to provide details of their education and employment history while under oath. The bill is called the Stop Another Non-Truthful Office Seeker Act, or the Santos Act. Most notable in their silence on the matter is Representative Kevin McCarthy, who Santos supports as the next House Speaker.
Santos. McCarthy.
You had other Republicans asking him to seriously consider resigning, and then you had other Republicans asking him to stay in Congress and defending him. And so what you saw when his first day in Congress, he was very silent. You saw photos of him sitting by himself. He ignored reporters' questions, but he did state time and time again that he's going to support Kevin McCarthy as House Speaker. And as everyone knows, Kevin McCarthy needs all the votes he can get in order to secure that role.
Santos is currently under investigation by the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Eastern District of New York, along with the Nassau County, New York District Attorney's Office. Santos also faces investigation by the Rio de Janeiro Prosecutor's Office for a 2008 incident regarding a stolen checkbook, a case that was archived because they couldn't find him. Santos, in the meantime, has made no indication that he plans to resign.
He most likely will be sworn in, but that doesn't mean there's not going to be that pressure campaign for people to still try to urge him to resign. The whole issue of the legal problems that he might face, that is something that we are still going to look after in terms of the consequences that he's going to face. This has been a case like no other, and now you have federal prosecutors that are looking into him.